Indians out here who were doing crazy things with snakes when the Americans first came out to the Southwest in the 1860s and 70s and met these Hopi medicine men who were putting snakes in their mouths and doing all kinds of crazy things with snakes. So there are things that are done by, shaman type leaders and magician type people with these creatures. So all those kind of stories are explainable in terms of natural phenomena to some extent. But when you get to the stories in the Gospels, walking on the waters and Holy Spirit coming down in a rush of wind, and everyone started talking crazily and stuff like that, and then those detract from an historian's view of their reliability. It may not to you follow me? If you're a person of faith, those may be the things you like the most. Because we all like cartoons. We all like superheroes. Someone told me that in Japan, Arnold Schwarzenegger is the biggest hero there is. So the fact that he's governor of California just plays right into their imaginations. They don't see him as a real person anyway. For him, he's the person on the silver screen. This is just an extension of his persona. They're so imbued with, they love superheroes. So this is, the Greeks love superheroes. Hercules, the demigods, all these people, that's normal. We love Jesus, so we like these stories about Jesus. But whether this is history or something else, so that's the problem. And in a class, as we said, you have to be willing to separate out what recommends itself historically from what is super history, supernatural history. Supernatural history belongs in the church, the mosque, the synagogue, the Buddhist temple. And whatever else we can do in the university, we will do. But super history, probably we're not going to be able to deal with. You say, well, no, that's what I want to hear about. Yeah, well, this is what we can't do because we only measure natural phenomena that are measurable. And by their definition, miracles are unnatural phenomena that are not measurable. So university scientific-minded people do not measure interruptions in the law of natural cause and effect. They deal with Galilean experiments. They deal with geometry. They deal with, quantum mechanics, which are based on probability and things, but they don't usually deal with the exception to their rule. That is, when a guy is dead 4 days in the ground, already stinking, and somehow he brings him back to life, that is not something that they're going to consider. So you'll forgive us if we don't do that either. All right, that being said, let's go over to Eusebius. Eusebius is a good place to start. And you guys, what we're trying to do by reading Eusebius is fill in the missing pieces. So, let's see the one I have here. Any last questions about how the course is going to be organized? A midterm, a final, and a paper. We're trying to get the midterm halfway through the course. I'll tell you the date as we approach it. It'll be essay type of midterm. A few short answers to keep you on your toes as you're reading stuff. We will take attendance so that people, because I think what we normally do is since people don't have an idea what they want to write about until about the last 3 weeks and they're overloaded with papers, and a good paper takes a lot of research, that if a person really has a good idea for a paper, then they should go ahead and do it. But other than that, we are let people drop one and concentrate on the exams, or they can do a good paper and drop one of the exams if they want, but they don't take the exam and drop it because you got a bad mark. We'll count anything you hand in. If you hand in 3 pieces, the official quota for this course, we'll mark them all and you'll be graded accordingly. They're not going to say, oh, drop one. No. It's not like, if you think you're not doing well, don't do it. If you think the exam you did, you're not doing well, and you don't want things grade counted, don't hand it in, just do the paper and a second exam. If you think you've totally screwed up, you follow me? You can make that, and the other thing is that I worry about, don't be jealous of others. If you did 3 things and that other person only did 2, that's your choice. And, envy of others is the worst thing in the world. Just carry on with your own self. Worry about you. what you think is right for you. I'm giving you that option because I don't want poor papers, and I don't want papers that you go and buy because it's so easy to do nowadays. And I don't want, from the internet and stuff, or the fraternity files and things, and I don't want to mark people off because of that. So if you've got a good topic that you want, and I don't have 30 topics to suggest to people, you can go up to me and say, I want to do this, is that okay? And I'll say, yeah, that sounds great. I wouldn't say, why don't you do this? If I said that, I'd be getting 30 papers on the same subject. It's not my job to do that. If you have an idea that you really want to pursue, and something that you decide is better than what I decide, then that's a great thing. But if you want to do that in both exams, which I recommend, do that. But the reason we take attendance is I don't want, if you're doing a paper and you decide not to take one exam and it's the final, then I don't want the fact that you're not coming. I want you to be here so that you follow the material of this course. So I will mark it down when we take attendance towards the middle and the end of this course. If you're just going to do this and disappear, well, we're going to lower your grade. Is that understandable? So we still expect you to be here. We're giving you that privilege. We still expect you to be here. Is that all right? So that's, the disadvantage, as I told you, is that I would have to be, if you've only done two things, the guy who decides between them what you grade if they're not both the same. Three things, it's easy. But three things can count against you. Because if you get an A and a B, and then the third thing is a B, you got a B. If you have an A and a B, and I'm the one who's going to make the determination, then I might think you deserve an A. So, you never know. You never know. I said, I want to throw one out. No, then I'm really against the wall. Everyone's going to be changing, juggling everything. Hand it in, it'll be counted. Don't hand it in, it won't be. Okay? Now, did I bring that other book with me? I don't think I did. No, I didn't. So I'll use one. So we'll start off with Eusebius here, and we'll try to pick up our history of Josephus from Eusebius. So I have my own book, but I'll use this one with you. He starts off, and we'll just start following him a bit. Well, maybe we should, before we do that, maybe we'll start with Eusebius next time so everybody has him. Let me first just sketch Jewish history up to this time. So everyone is starting from the same point, all right? Do you think that would be fair to do? You don't mind if I bore you if you already know it? How many feel they all know it? Well, let's just sketch it out here. So, how's that thing doing? That's